Welcome back to Don't Blow Up,
the podcast.
My name is Gerardo.
And my name's Miguel. I got nervous.
It's so funny that confidence puts you in like a bad place. You're like, oh, geez, okay. He's confident. Let's keep it together.
No, it's loudness.
Oh, loudness. Yeah. I think loudness is confidence. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the main thing between the both of us. I think being quiet is more confident.
Really?
Well, I feel more confident when I'm quiet than when I'm loud.
Yeah. So 2 + 2 is 5. Yeah. And then somebody's going to be like, dude, he didn't really yell it out. So.
2 + 2 is 5.
Yeah, that sounds.
That's more confident to you?
It does sound dumber. No, it sounds like 2 + 2 is 5.
Yeah, the other guy sounded more confident. Oh, hey, have you seen this stuff on Twitter for if he's not the leader of his group? Have you seen that stuff? No? Okay, so this girl was just talking about what's attractive about a guy.
Yeah.
And then she put, if he's not the leader of the group, it's unattractive or whatever. And then all the dudes on Twitter are like, what like friend group has a leader? And like everybody's like, we're not Power Rangers. We're not like, it's not a kingdom.
Yeah.
And then there's this hilarious memes about like going to a club and a guy's getting twerked on. And then he's just making a face like, and then the caption is, when that girl the leader was talking to starts twerking on you, and he's just nervous about it. And I don't know, I think it's interesting, the idea of what like women think male friendships are.
Yeah.
And
100%, dude. I agree with you 100%.
Because like we don't ever think of that stuff, right? If there's a group of guys, we're not like, let's see what this guy says for us to do everything. It's just like if there's 4 guys in a group and someone has an idea to do something, everybody's just like, yeah, we'll do it. And it's never like a democracy. It is a democracy.
I think it's either, yeah, we'll do it, or that's the worst idea I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Right?
And we all laugh.
Yeah. And it's like, but it came from the heart, you know? Yeah, there's always, and also like, more so like, I don't think, you know what's fucked is that there is groups of guys out there that are like all toxic together. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And so those are the guys that women kind of focus on, being like, oh, I bet you and your friends are like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like there was a story, was it you that told me? I think it was probably somebody else.
Maybe.
Where the guy told one of his friends, like, you didn't see me dancing with that girl tonight, right? Saying like that because he had, right? Was that you? No.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. That kind of shit, dude. And the girls are like, all men are like this. You know what I mean? 100%, dude.
Painting with the broad brush.
Mm-hmm.
These
broads painting with the broad brush.
Oh, I didn't even mean it like that. I just meant generalizations.
Yeah.
Make a big splotchy painting.
Yeah.
But then there's Van Gogh, and everybody loves that stuff.
When you assume, you make shit out of me and you, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So you make assume shit.
Yeah. You make assume shit, dude.
Make some shit up.
You make some shit up.
You make some shit up, and then things go bad. Yeah, that's a good actual
saying.
Advice. Saying.
Yeah, why were we saying ass out of you and me? It's like, no, you make some shit up, dude.
When you make shit up, it goes bad.
Yeah.
Always be present.
Yeah. Why not just take things at face value, dude?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. A mistake we've all made.
Yeah. I feel it. What's it called? I wanted to talk to you about Australians, dude.
Okay, why?
What are your thoughts on Australians? Don't be diplomatic, dude. Huh? Don't be diplomatic.
The land down under.
That's your thoughts? Your first thought, down under.
I think of kangaroos. I think of basketball.
Yeah.
I think of a friend I made at a hostel.
You think of basketball because of Patty Mills?
I know they're good at basketball.
Yeah, they got bronze. What the fuck? Knock on my door when you get silver, dude, at least. You know,
LeBron's pretty good.
Right. LeBron's pretty good, dude.
Yeah, LeBron is great. It's awesome, actually.
Yeah. No, but I was at the Comedy Store the other night, and they were taken over by Australians, dude.
For real?
Yes.
Really?
It was like...
Did you give fealty?
I did not give any fealty. At first, I gave a little fealty to the Australians, but then I was like, oh, they're not going to stop talking, dude. You know what I mean? Have you ever been in a room full of Australians?
No.
You don't know what it's like, dude.
Mm-mm.
It's not as bountiful and joyful as you think. You know what I mean? Nobody's bending the knees in there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Fealty wise. I'm talking about fealty. Dude, drunk Australians too. And there was no escaping it. Everywhere I went, there was like these drunk Australians talking to Brendan Cooney. And Brendan was like laughing because he has that joke about Australians, how he hates Australian comics because all they do is get laughs from their voice, like, hey, mate, you know, kind of thing. And he's talking to this drunk Australian guy that keeps pointing at Josh Potter and being like, hey, he's really famous. He's super famous, you know? And just kept talking about how famous Josh Potter was. And I was like, I'm going to go to the back, dude. And I go to the back, and at the door, people are walking, yeah, we're going to go inside the main room then, right? Can't escape it. And I go back to Brendan Cooney. The guys got kicked out. Drunk Australian dude got kicked out because his other friend was just going around yelling shit in all the rooms. A fucking drunk Australian woman is like, can I join your guys' conversation? To the four of us. And I looked at Brendan like, can we say no? You can't say no. Can you say no?
Yeah.
Because then you look like a woman-hating person.
No. I'm surprised that you have this feeling because usually you're the guy that's immediately like, no, you're a stranger.
So, but I'm also telling you that I immediately wanted to say no. But if I'm somebody that goes into a group, or let's say if I'm a female that goes into a group of guys and says, can I join your guys' conversation? Who's going to say no? Be realistic, Miguel.
I would say yes, but you can say no. It's a stranger.
But there's consequences to saying no.
It depends how you say it.
Also, the person that wants to join the group, if I say no, what's the next thing that happens? They say, why? They're not leaving the group already, dude.
You know what I should do when I see Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock or whatever at the Comedy Store and hanging out? I'm just going to go up and be like, hey, can I join this group?
Whoever has the gall to ask the question, can I join the group, is not going to leave on a no. Right?
Yeah.
There you go, dude. Then why are they asking the question, dude? They should just walk up and be like, I'm joining this group now. Which is just as weird as going, hey, can I join your guys' group right now? Right?
I mean, I don't, do you feel like it's really weird for someone to ask, can I join the group?
Yes.
I have never heard that before. So
just join the group.
Even that's weird though.
Yeah.
You just like insert yourself in and then just make a comment. We've been in situations like that where people do that and we're definitely weirded out by it.
But we've been people that have done that too.
No, I've never done that.
You have done that, dude.
When? Ask
God, dude. If you're gonna ask me, ask God. God probably has a tape full of those moments for you. That'd be funny if you're the one that does it the most out of anyone. I never do that. No, I don't know. Maybe I'm dying on a stupid ass hill right now, right? Like this is really dumb. But
I think it's dumb.
Thank you, dude. Finally, somebody. But she joins the group and then she's talking to everyone individually, and then I'm the fourth one, right? So she's like, "Where are you from?" Fucking Carlsbad. Where are you from? San Diego. Where are you from? Glassell Park. Where are you from? I'm like, Seattle, dude. Seattle.
You lied.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's like, what are you doing? I fucking commute to the Comedy Store.
Why are you doing this though?
Why is she talking to me, dude?
Why are you lying?
Because I just, listen, she was a walking scam, dude.
Okay.
And listen, it's not good coming from the guy that thinks everyone's a plant. Yeah. I understand that. But this woman was a walking scam.
What was her scam in your head?
Dude, that's the thing. She's such a good scam. I can't tell you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But what I can tell you is that Brendan ended up talking to her all night, and she was asking Brendan to put his address in her phone and stuff like that. Scam, dude.
Did Brendan do it?
I think he did, but he might have put a fake address.
Oh, well, maybe she's just trying to get some BC, some Brendan Cooney.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Brendan wanted. Brendan's like, you could take everything from me. I just want to have sex.
You could live there.
Yeah, you could live.
After we have sex, you could just live.
But no.
And then she sees you.
Yeah.
Because you do raccoon titties. And she's like, oh, you're coming in from Seattle.
So she's like, so yeah, I have a friend from Seattle. And like, she's talking to me now. She's like, I have a friend from Seattle, and we're both very religious. And it took her a while to meet Christ, this and that, right? And then somebody was like, hey, do you want this drink, like a alcoholic beverage? Yeah. And she's like, oh yeah, let me get it. As soon as she did that, oh yeah, because I'm right here. Oh yeah, like that. I told Brendan, I grabbed Brendan hard by the arm and I said, I will be back, dude. Right? And then I just dipped out to the back. So many more Australians, dude. And I was talking to Felicia Folks, like, where the fuck do these Australians get the nerve to show up all at once, dude? You know what I mean?
A big group vacation?
I've never been around a lot of Australians. And it's made me feel a different way about
Is it just because they're drunk or just because they're Australian?
Just because they're Australian, dude.
Is okay. So what's the vibe of an Australian? How would
They're
you?
very happy. They love American culture, like,
Okay.
but they also love talking about Australia, and they don't shut up, dude. It's just like, talking is talking. You know what I mean? I don't need to know everything about you. You know, how many times have you been caught up in a life story?
I don't.
Because listen, I've been in those moments a lot of times where somebody's telling me, but sometimes it's interesting, and I'm like really there, and I'm listening. But when it's somebody that just goes from thing to thing to thing, and there's no real connective tissue whatsoever in their conversation, it's like you're using me right now, dude. Right? Australians use people, dude. Give me fealty, dude. Sign off what I'm saying. What are your views?
You are the king of this apartment. So
I have to agree with everything.
What is your question directly?
What do you think of Australians now, dude?
After that whole situation, I'm annoyed.
Does it?
There's good Australians on both sides.
I bet there is. And like my favorite musical artist is Australian.
Who's that?
Tame Impala, Kevin Parker.
Oh, he's Australian?
Yeah.
Oh, does he look like Jesus? Is that the guy?
Yeah, that guy. Well, all right, sorry about that. We had technical difficulties, and Miguel had to pay fealty to my restroom really quick.
Yes. I made a donation.
Yeah.
I paid taxes.
I'll end this. Yellow tax.
Yellow tax.
I'll end this Australian rant. This is what I was waiting all week to tell you. But let's just end it with your thoughts on Australians. Now, what I want is, you've met individual Australians before, right?
Yes, of course.
Now, picture yourself in a room full of them, dude. Right?
Okay. The 2 Australians I've met recently, when my brother took me to a restaurant, like a fancy restaurant, he knew them and everything. They're very nice.
Okay.
Yeah. And very funny, very personable. But I could kind of see how that's that's the good end of the things that you explained.
Yeah.
I could also see how that could turn into annoying and not shutting up and all that stuff. But the 2 Australians I met were cool. And also, one of the never mind, I'm not gonna make that joke.
So a conversation I had with the Australian, I had my Brooklyn Nets hat on.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You like basketball, right?" That's like British. I don't know how to do an Australian accent. And I was like, "Yeah, I love basketball." He's like, "I got into basketball. I saw the Rockets in the Heat play there in Miami, and it was with James Harden." And he goes, "My wife, she did not like basketball until we went to the game, and then she started saying, 'That James Harden, he's really good.'" And then he's like, and I was like, "Yep, he is." And then she's like, "They should trade him to the Miami Heat. Looks like the Miami Heat really needed somebody like James Harden." And then he goes, "Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah." Because the Miami Heat are really struggling out there. It seems like they need somebody that can shoot like James Harden. He's a sharp shooter. He's shooting all the shots are really good. Like, and then I was like, "Yep, good observation. Yeah." And I'm sitting there just like, what the fuck? Of course, James Harden is good at basketball, dude. Everyone knows that. Sorry, I just wanted to share that.
So you're just mad at this girl for learning?
No, he told me this as a story that's like basketball talk. You know what I mean? And I was laughing, dude. During that whole thing, I was dying laughing. I was just laughing hard, and he's looking at me like, "What's so funny, dude? I'm just telling you like a story about my wife,
Yeah.
But I was just like, "What? Why are you talking to me about this?" And it got me to that manic place. He would not stop talking. He's like, "I went to Austin, Texas, and they was eating barbecue out there." Anyways, I was in Mississippi, and then I went to Los Angeles. Las Vegas is my favorite. Dude, he was at the Las Vegas shooting.
Really?
Yes.
When was there a shooting?
The Mandalay Bay, the one, like 56 people died.
When?
Remember the country music concert?
Oh, yeah. That was a long time ago. I thought recently.
I think Stephen Paddock was his name. He was there, and he said like, "All right, it's going to be a very somber mood." He was talking to his wife in the elevator. "It's going to be a very somber mood out here. A lot of people died last night. So let's just not have too much fun then. Yeah?
Let's not be too Australian."
Yeah. You know how we always talk a lot and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And then they got out of the elevator, and he said it was just like Las Vegas. Like nothing happened. Like
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I had a teacher who was there too, like day of the shooting, from what I've heard. This was like after I graduated. I heard that he was at the shooting. And then a couple years later, everybody found out that he keeps a gun in his in his classroom, and then he got suspended for a while for having a gun. And this was a teacher that I always had like a bit of a personal beef with him for some reason. He just hated me. I think. Well, the story is I remember he was very charismatic, right? All the kids loved him. The parents loved him. And then it was the second day of school. And then he was like, so who didn't turn in their homework, right? And this one kid was just being honest. And he rose his hand. He was the only one that raised his hand. I also did not do my homework, and I did not raise my hand. Second day of class, our teacher proceeds to like interrogate this guy and over one sheet of homework and be like, so you just don't do your homework? And he's like, oh yeah, I just didn't do it. And he's like, so you didn't do it, or you forgot to do it, or you chose not to do it? And then he's like, oh, I guess I just chose not to do it. And then he's like, so you don't care about your life? And then systematically broke him down and was like, so if you don't do this, you can't do the small thing. How are you going to do anything? And then it went to like, if you don't do anything, I mean, you're just kind of going to be a bum. And then it went to like, how are you going to do anything for your family if you're that? Like, and then he's like, and then he started talking about his mom and like he's disappointing his parents, all from the second day of school. And then I just remember being like, what the fuck is going on? He made him cry.
Oh my God.
And then afterwards, when everybody left, I felt guilty. And then I walked up to my teacher and I was like, yeah, I also didn't do my homework. And I just felt like I had to say that. And then he just gave me a look like, what the heck, man? Because I forgot to say, when he made him cry, he was like, oh, I went too far.
Oh my God.
The teacher had like regret. And yeah, that guy eventually... Oh, and another thing he did, this is why, so that's why he was weird with me, right? And then later in the school year, he did this thing where he was like, you know, I really care about my class. And every person in all of my classes, I could say one unique good thing about them. And then he was like, well, but, and it's not, I'm not just gonna be like, oh, you're a nice guy. That's just something you say when, I mean, you don't really care, right? And then so he went through everybody, and I think he forgot what he said about when you say someone's a nice guy, that it's just like a whatever thing. And then, or maybe it was pointed at me, but it got to me, and he's like, you're just a nice guy. So, and then I don't think anyone remembered, but I was just like, okay, you said that that's what you say to people who are nothing. I was just like, all right. And then, yeah, so I had a personal vendetta against him the rest of my life. I'm also known in my family and my friends to have personal vendettas against teachers a lot.
Yeah.
One time a teacher pushed me.
Yeah.
So there was like this big goofy game of boxing that they were doing. And it was like in the quad or whatever. And this one teacher was in character and I was just by the side where he was going to come in. And he just pushed me like with the big goofy boxing gloves. And everybody laughed at me. And I just remember like, oh, this is not a good guy.
Oh.
These are the sort of things that pop in my head as soon as someone wrongs me, right? My teachers. And so I was like, yeah, this is not a good guy. If he's going to do that, I'm just a random kid.
Yep.
And then everybody laughed at me, blah, blah, blah. Later, turns out he's like racist.
Oh, yeah.
He's like one of those Trumpy guys.
Yeah.
But nobody knew that for a while, and they thought he was just like a cool teacher. Turns out he wasn't. So that's the second time I was right about a teacher being shitty. So let's go back. First teacher has a gun in the classroom. Not the smartest thing. Second teacher turns out to be a racist, and I mean that makes it worse that he pushed me, a little Mexican boy, right?
Yep.
And then there's more, but it's a long list.
So, have you ever been to Temecula?
No.
What do you think of Temecula when you hear Temecula?
Grapes.
Grapes, really?
Yeah.
Well,
farmland.
What I think is racism.
Okay.
Right. And it's funny because that whole area, and then like there's like a weird Venn diagram of like San Diego, Los Angeles, and everything in between there is kind of just racist. The OC, like, right? People talk like that. They say like the OC is mad racist, all this stuff. Trump country kind of thing, like the middle of the vineyards and shit. And so I went to Temecula yesterday, and you know, there's a bunch of jokes that I did on stage about like, is this like the first thing I said when I got on stage was like, all right, who'd you guys vote for? Don't fuck with me, dude. You know? And they all laughed, you know? And then some Mexican chick was like, Joe Biden, you know? And I was like, I fucking doubt it, right? And then I was like, but it does look like a liberal bar because it had sex, drugs, and rock and roll in neon lighting. I was like, that's a fucking liberal neon sign. Because if it was conservative, it would just say prescription pills, you know? Like sex is cool, but due to the other things on that sign makes me think that it's premarital, You know what I mean? So that was a joke. And I did my whole set, did 10 minutes, 11 minutes, whatever. And then we go to a bar, and then we go to another bar. And the whole time I'm like, Temecula's fucking awesome, dude. You know? Who's racist out here, dude? Somebody told us that there was a gay bar. Oh, I almost said gay barbecue. A gay bar up the street that got closed down by the city or something. And like there was like picket signs and shit because they hate gay people or whatever. And so that's what we're just like, what the fuck, right? But the whole time partying in Temecula, I'm like, this place is pretty dope, right? And then we go to the second bar, and there was like a group of people that were at the comedy show that like loved me and Melvin and Daniel. But Daniel was like in the corner drunk, like, yeah, you know. But me and Melvin were right there, and he goes, Melvin's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, right? And so I'm there with the guy, and the guy goes, you and Melvin, dude, you guys are some funny ass Mexicans, dude.
That's crazy.
And then he goes, and then I was like, oh, but Melvin's Salvador. And he's like, you guys are funny Mexicans, dude. But he was drunk also. And I was just like, oh my God, dude. Yeah.
Is it Salvadoran or Salvadorian?
Salvadoran.
Salvadoran, right. Okay.
There's Salvadoranian, not correct. Salvadorian, not correct. Salvadoran.
Okay.
Yeah. I've had to train myself not to say Salvadorian.
Yeah, the first time I ever said, mentioned someone from that country, I said Salvadorian.
Yeah.
Right? And then the girl was like mad at me.
Really?
Yeah. It was my friend's girlfriend. Shout out Mel.
Shout out Mel Austin.
Yeah. My friend TJ probably watches this, so shout out TJ and his girlfriend Mel. I call them my grandparents. Yeah. Because I go to visit them in New York sometimes. Well, once, but I just thought it was a funny joke to say that they're my grandparents. Do you have friends you consider like your grandparents?
No. Because I went to Daniel's house yesterday and like met his family and stuff. And Melvin's like really close to the family. And I'm like, damn, fool, I don't have it. I told Melvin too, I'm like, I can't imagine living where I grew up. You know? In my opinion, there's nothing really there for me. Like friends wise, my close friend moved to Lake Elsinore. He bought a house. That's far as fuck, dude. You know? Yeah. And then Josiah's out living in the Philippine jungle.
Lake Elsinore, that seems like a place where grandparents live. Yeah. It's like California's Boca Raton, Florida. Yeah.
That and also boring point, huh? No, Napa Valley. Napa Valley seems like Boca Raton to me. You know what I mean? Okay. Like French Laundry's out there. You know what I mean?
Did I ever tell you the place I worked at before that sold knives has like a special sponsorship deal with
you told me that before.
Famous chef Thomas Keller.
Is his name Thomas Geller?
Thomas Keller.
Keller.
Yeah, like Ellen Keller.
Like Helen Keller? Yeah. He can't see, smell, or fucking
That's literally why he's the most famous. And it's called French Laundry because he used to always shove his food in the washing machine because he was blind and deaf. But he's the greatest chef there ever was. Yeah. Those are like my worked with him. Yeah. So like these are true stories.
Yeah, when we actually tried to sign the contract, he wrote his name on the wall.
With a knife?
Yeah, with a knife. He acted like the knife was a pen.
That'd be funny if he's such a chef that he signs everything with a knife. Like instead of ink, he scratches it in. He dices sticky notes.
Yeah. Dude, that's hilarious. Imagine French Laundry is like a blind deaf person that everyone like talks. All you hear is like, "Oh, French Laundry is amazing," this and that. But if you go in the kitchen, it's just like,
and everything comes out exquisite at the top of the line. That's so funny. The most chaotic place you've ever seen. Dude, yeah, I've never been to French Laundry. How'd you hear about French Laundry?
I like restaurants, and I was looking to Michelin restaurants, and French Laundry is like number one, especially California.
In the country, right?
Yeah.
I think because he was the first guy to have a 3-star Michelin restaurant in the U.S., right? Yeah. Yeah. And then he has another one, doesn't he?
I don't know. I've heard about that, though.
So you were in the Michelin star restaurants. What is another cool one you'd want to go to?
The one that I went to in Mexico was pretty cool. It was water, something like that. It's called like Q or some shit, which is like the Mayan word for water. And that was pretty dope. And then Sushi by Scratch restaurants, I went to one of them, but it wasn't the Michelin star one. It's just like a separate. But Sushi by Scratch has a Michelin star, but not the location I went to. One that I would want to go to is French Laundry, dude. Like, where else?
Did you saw some cool ones in Japan, right? Japan has the most Michelin star restaurants, I believe.
Really?
I believe so.
Oh, shit.
Like they have like more than 20 3-star Michelin restaurants, and every other country has like 2 or something like that, which is amazing. And like you've heard the stories about like becoming a sushi chef in Japan, right?
No.
Where like for 10 years.
You have to be blind and deaf?
Yeah, for 10 years you have to be blind and deaf. No, for 10 years you're just washing rice, and they don't let you touch any fish. Because the idea is you have to learn how to respect the ingredients first, apparently, from what I remember. So 10 years, and then you won't become like a full chef until you're like 40 or 50 or something like that.
Imagine playing video games your whole life, and then in like 2008, you're like, I want to be a sushi chef, dude. You know? Mm. They're like, you have to never play video games again. It was so hard for me not to do the voice right now. You have to never play video games again. You have to wash rice for 10 years. Dude, I'm fucking down, dude. You know? And then 2008 to 2018, you're just in a room washing rice for 10 years. And then you come out and Twitch is like your homies that you streamed with are like millionaires off Twitch. And you're just like a peasant washing rice. They deny you sushi chef. Like, no, you did not wash the rice properly.
You have to do another 10 years. And then you come back and you're like, you guys are all millionaires?
Yeah, dude.
And then, well, maybe you could get a job with them and be like, hey, I know how to wash rice.
Like, you washed rice for 10 years.
20
dude.
years. He finishes.
Yeah.
He finishes the second batch of 10 years. He comes back because he didn't get it again. He's like, I can add value to you guys. Let me wash your rice.
I've seen you. You eat a lot of rice, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine having clean fucking rice.
When they say no, he's like, yeah, exactly what you said.
They sign a 10-day contract. We'll let you do rice for 10 days. You know what I mean? And then he makes it and they're like, this tastes like shit. He just spent 20 years washing rice. He's like, why did I want to be a sushi chef? I should have just played video games.
I'd be a millionaire.
I'd be a fucking...
My mom was wrong. I shouldn't learn a skill.
Dude, I would be so... That was something I would do, dude. He just becomes a stand-up comic. Bro! Have you heard about that?
What?
Dude, there was this guy that was a stand-up comic in Japan, right? You've never heard about the first live stream of all time?
No.
So this guy was a sushi not a sushi chef. He was a stand-up comic in Japan. And you know how Japanese game shows are a huge thing, right?
Yeah.
He was signed up for a Japanese game show. And it ends up being the contest. His contest was you have to live in an apartment by yourself naked. With a bunch of brochures, and you have to call a bunch of sweepstakes, and you have to make a certain amount of money from sweepstakes in order to get out of the apartment.
Okay.
So it became a huge hit. It was like fucking Bruno Mars in 2012. Like huge.
The biggest anybody could ever be.
Bruno Mars.
In 2012. Not Michael Jackson, like 1985.
This is like Fetty Wap in 2016, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not Thriller Michael Jackson. This is Fetty Wap in 2016.
Britney Spears in 2001, dude. Just a bunch of pop icons.
The biggest thing you can think of.
Yeah. But like for Japan, right? And he has to, and everyone's watching it. Every day, like every week, there was an update on this guy, and then it was like all the crazy Japanese, what's it called, the graphics and shit, and it was becoming such a big hit. And he finally, it was like 10 months, dude, 10 fucking months naked and alone in an apartment, trying to win money off sweepstakes. He got a 5-pound bag of rice. And he washed it for 10 years. Just kidding. No, he got a 5-pound bag of rice, and he didn't have anything to cook it with. So he had to make it Jimmy Rig. Like he won another contest of a bunch of pudding or Jello packets or whatever. So he put the rice in the little metal tin that those came in, and he heated it on like a lighter, dude, with a little bit of water. And he cooked the rice. And like when he finally had good rice, he's like crying in the camera, like,
oh damn,
like crazy, dude. You know? And then it became so successful after however long. They fucking first of all had to move him from that apartment because people found out where he was to another apartment out in like in the middle of nowhere, whatever. And then he was winning more there, and the producers were like, "Wait, he's winning too much. We have to move him to another apartment." Oh no. He won at first, and then he had a bad stretch of luck where he wasn't winning anything. Okay. So they moved him to another apartment, and then he was there for the rest of his stay till he got to the number, right? The dollar figure. You had to win like 960 million yen, which is like conversion wise, maybe $100,000 in American money or whatever, worth of like fucking exercise bikes, all these different things that he won in these sweepstakes. And then he finally gets done with it. He hits the mark, and they take him out to Korea. They took him to Korea, and he's on like roller coasters and shit. And he won. He's celebrating, but the producers made so much fucking money off this guy. They wanted to make another series with him. And sometime in all that, when they moved him to the third place, they started live streaming him all day long. And they had people with sensors, like little joysticks, moving the sensors to cover his penis because he was naked the whole time.
That's just how he lives.
Yes.
Or was he going so crazy that he was like, I'm going to be naked all the
No,
time?
when they dropped him off at the beginning, they made him take all of his clothes off. And then he had to win sweepstakes to get clothes. The only sweepstakes he won for clothes was a woman's panties. It was
That's
like
messed up.
it's some fucked up thing. Like, and people think that the producers fucking wanted him naked the whole time, kind of thing. Anyways,
It is kind of funnier, but go on.
right? I mean, but that's so dude. A year of your life naked dude. Are you kidding me?
That's probably the freest thing about the whole thing for me.
You're like, that makes me want to do it.
Yeah, he's cooped up. He feels cooped up, and mentally he might be going crazy.
Yeah.
But to be naked all the time, I feel like that's pretty good.
And then to be exploited like with the live stream for the last part of it. He finally hits the mark. He goes to Korea. He celebrates. And then they put a fucking mask on him, dude, and put him in a van, take him to another apartment. They're like, all right, take the mask off. And he's all excited because it's been like a celebration day.
Yeah.
And it's the table again in the middle of the room. And he's in another fucking apartment. And they're like, all of a sudden, they're just like, take off your clothes. Like all rugged like that too. And he's like,
Sounds like Old Boy.
he's like, bro, what the fuck, right?
This sounds like a horror thriller.
Yeah. And then they asked him, like, if you don't want to do it, you can walk away now. But he did it, dude. He took off his clothes and he started again in Korea. And he doesn't speak Korean, he's Japanese. So he's doing Korean sweepstakes this time. And it's just, the show is fucking huge. People are like, oh yeah. His name in Japanese was Eggplant because they put an eggplant emoji over his dick and balls.
That's fun. And how long ago was this?
This is before Twitch became a thing.
Okay.
So this is before
That's crazy.
Justin TV. This is like 2000s. Or no. I feel like this is the 90s.
90s?
Yeah.
I feel like this is like, if this were to happen in the US and we were doing it to prisoners, the Constitution would be like, this is fair, or this is cruel and unusual punishment.
Oh yeah.
Like it would be illegal to do this. The fact that it's a
Yeah.
TV show. But then again, thinking about it, there's those Naked and Afraid shows and Alone.
But that's like voluntary.
Yeah.
This guy was just trying to do some fun Japanese slip and slide fucking game show. And he ends up devoting a year and a half of his life to fucking sweepstakes, dude. You know? Crazy. Anyways, why did I say that whole story? What were we talking about? Oh, sushi chefs. 10 years of a sushi chef.
Yeah, it made you think of that.
Oh man, dude, that was crazy. Yeah, I'll send you the video. Like, it's a whole documentary.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it every season.
I have started another season of Alone. Dude, Alone's a sick ass show.
I don't watch TV.
I told you about Alone though on a different episode where it's like I bet on one guy and I'm like, what the fuck? Why did he quit? You know? So now I just watch it without any. I don't give any fealty to any of these people.
Yes.
I'm like, fuck it, dude. Everyone's on my team, dude. Because I can't deal with the heartbreak of somebody giving up on me, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be the worst. On Alone, the last time, everybody was quitting on you, right?
Yeah, it was like 4 people in a row that I was like, he's definitely gonna. Jordan, what? Why would you quit? You know.
Yeah.
And that one time that it got to me was when he quit because he was like, it's too easy.
I'm bored.
Yeah, I'm bored. It's too easy. I could fucking do this, dude, but I'm like, you bitch, you fucking bitch. I got money on you in my head.
Talking about that, but that Japanese guy doing that apartment thing, I watched a Mr. Beast video that was pretty interesting where the guy was going to get 10 grand a day that he was in a room. Have you seen it?
I might have, yeah. No, I haven't seen it yet. No.
And then every day he just has to take one item out of the room that was decorated for him. So like there's pool table, basketball hoop, guitar, all that stuff. Every day he has to take an item out. And then he starts to go crazy. And then he's just like, he made like $300,000 or something like that. And then he was just like, I could do more, but I miss my girlfriend. I'm so sad. There's nothing to do. And then I just want to get out of here. And then he proposed to her. which is, and so my question is, if you were to be trapped in 30 days, what do you think would be, if you were to be trapped in a room for 30 days, what do you think the first thing you would do when you get out is?
Chipotle.
Chipotle?
Yeah.
Not propose to your girlfriend? Because that's what he did.
Chipotle, dude. And Sonic 3 is coming out soon too, so.
Chipotle, go buy Sonic 3?
No, I'm assuming that this would happen around the time Sonic 3 comes out, so I would rent a theater out and take a bunch of friends to watch Sonic 3. Yeah, because Melvin on the last episode of Isimo was like, can you propose to your girlfriend already so that we can have like a wedding to go to? And it's like, I don't, dude.
I don't love her.
No, I talked to my girlfriend about it too. It's like, I want to propose to you, dude. But your boy's broke, dude. Like, how am I going to spend anywhere near $1,000 on a wedding, dude? Let alone $50K, $60K, dude. Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, you don't have to do a big wedding. I'm sure Maria's the type that. Are you going to bleep her name out?
Well, what about me though?
Oh, you want a big wedding?
Yeah.
Okay. You want me to do best man speech?
I have like 18 best men, and all of them hate me because they're not the one. They're like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Your brother's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Just let it be me.
Yeah.
You make it a stand-up comedy show. Everyone forgets the idea that it's like your big day, and we all just start doing stand-up.
Like, I don't want it to be a big wedding.
Yeah.
I want it to be a nice wedding, dude. I want to get married, like, I don't know, somewhere fucking dope.
I didn't know you're so romantic.
Dude, I want a nice reception. I'm a party animal, dude, more so than I'm a romantic. I just push my girlfriend's face and I'm like, yeah. With like, I just spend like $50,000 on my outfit. I have gold everything, you know? No, but that's like, I told my girlfriend, she's like, oh, that makes sense. It's like, yeah, you're awesome. I love you. You know?
Would she say yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question, dude. What the
fuck? I don't know. Expound on it. Like, you're not afraid of marriage.
No.
No.
Like
I'm not either, but I was just wondering.
I will say that people have issues with commitment. And when I was not in a long-term relationship, I was thinking to myself, like, what's the fucking like, what's commitment, dude? Fucking commit. Like, that's fucking easy, dude. And then when I got in a long-term relationship, I realized, like, oh, I understand what commitment is now. It's just like, even then though, I don't really understand though too, because I love my girlfriend. It's not a chore to be committed to my girlfriend. You know what I mean? It's like, but the commitment thing is like, oh yeah, forever becomes a realistic idea.
Yeah, it's scary.
That's the scary part. I didn't think, it's just like, live day by day, commit for now, dude, you know? Which is still the way I kind of look at it. It's like, yeah, I'm committed to my girlfriend today and tomorrow for the time being and the next day for the time being. You're like, just in the moment instead of like future tripping about like what commitment truly is.
Yeah.
But now I have like more of a perspective on what commitment is, you know?
That's excellent.
Yeah.
This is your longest relationship, correct? Yep. And it's been 2 years?
Almost 2 years on September 19th.
Oh. And so where do you guys think you guys would go for like a honeymoon?
Italy.
Italy?
Yeah.
Classic Gerardo.
Well, she wants to go to Italy. That's like the number one place she wants to go to. I want to go to Tokyo, but that wouldn't be like a fucking...
Yeah, that seems like more... It doesn't seem like a romantic place to go.
Tokyo?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but they have those cherry blossom trees and all that stuff. Yeah. That's just pretty cool.
Italy, we just would eat. We would just gorge for 4 days.
Have you heard of the gardens in Japan where it's like they have an owl garden where there's a whole bunch of live owls or something, and like in the restaurant or something, or like there's deer park, something like that. Like in the cafes too, there's just deers walking around and all that stuff. Oh, I thought you'd have heard of it.
No.
Would you like to go to a restaurant where there's live animals walking around?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome, right? Imagine it a zoo.
Imagine they fucking kill the animals in front of you. And you're like, what? I thought that was just the animals were around.
Oh, that's called a ranch in Mexico. Dude, when I was little, the first time I realized that like I'm watching the thing we're about to eat, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like them wrangling up the cow and everything. I mean, I got over it quick. But I was just like, after I ate it and it was delicious.
Yeah.
I just distinctly remember being like, I know what it looked like. Yeah. I saw it in its eyes. And it honestly, it made me respect the food more. The fact that I could actually see the animal.
Yeah, I remember that, but I couldn't really put two and two together because it was so gnarly how they killed this chicken.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really think about I was eating that chicken that just died. I was like, they fucking murdered this chicken. Because they grabbed him by the neck and they fucking spun him around like that.
I've never seen that, but I heard that that's what
bro, like so unnecessary.
Yeah.
And also, you know what's even more unnecessary than grabbing a chicken by the neck and spinning it around all crazy? Saying, check this out, and then doing it, dude. That is so unnecessary.
Who did that?
A friend of my cousins. Because my cousins are like technically my uncles. They're so old. Because my family, there's like 10 kids on one side.
Yeah.
And so the oldest uncle of mine is Juan. His son is Juanito. And his friend grabbed a chicken by the neck. Check this out. Doom. And like when you say check this out, you're like, okay, well, you want my attention, you know? And then now you're like kind of like zoned in tunnel vision on what this fool's about to do for whatever split second that is. And now you're watching a chicken die. Crazy, dude.
Yeah, it'll mess you up for sure. But for me, I honestly think it helped. It helped me realize more like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I still eat cows, but every time I go to a ranch, like I have such respect for the animals.
Yeah.
I feel so bad. And then I remember when I was really young, it was raining a lot. And it's like this was at the ranch. It was raining a lot. And it's like it seems like a rickety house. It's like very small, right? And then so there was like a patio outside. And it wasn't too big. So like the horse didn't really fit under it. So like half of it was getting rained on. Have I told you this story before? And then I just remember being like a 7-year-old child and then walking out there and then looking up at the big horse and then like petting its face and just like seeing like its watery eyes. And I thought like it was like sad. And then I just remember being there for like 30 minutes, just like touching its face. And horses, have you been around a horse lately?
Well, yeah. I mean, my uncle has horses in Norco.
Every time I go back and see a horse, I forget how like huge they are.
Yeah.
They're like taller than us.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
Thick. Fucking don't. You know what I was thinking about earlier today? Shout out. The whole reason why I keep saying fealty is because House of the Dragon just came out on HBO.
Oh, is that the Game of Thrones?
Yeah. So I was watching it today and I'm like, dude, imagine being a horse with jousting, you know? You're a horse, you're about to fucking and then like the guy is jousting on top of you. Like, what is the horse thinking? Because part of me can actually think like the horse is into it, dude. Because, you know, every time you see those jousting videos, the horse is like, right? They're always fucking like, but is that like them being like, oh, I'm being tortured? Or is that them being like, fuck, you didn't fucking get this guy, dude, you know? You know?
And like a rage quit for the
Yeah.
horse?
Yeah. But because I've always seen it as like a horse kind of being tortured. Where it's like, oh, fucking, I feel uncomfortable. But now I see it as like, let's fucking go.
If you think about it too, like, you know, how dogs are bred for years and years.
Yeah.
And like a Siberian Husky is at its most happiest when it's lugging something and like running as fast as it can. And that's probably what it is in those horses. Like I get to charge, stampede fast as possible. It's freeing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like us being able to be naked in an apartment. Which we'll do that for one of our episodes.
Just censor our eggplant emojis.
Yeah, eggplant.
Oh my God.
And then anytime I put a finger up like this, you got to put the eggplant emoji too. Just like no phallic
You
symbols.
have dick fingers.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like anything that could be phallic. Oh, over the microphones.
Over the nipples.
The nipple, everything.
The tiniest dicks. What if nipples were tiny dicks?
That would be disgusting. I mean, nipples are very sensitive though.
That would be the hardest thing to masturbate.
Do you, you don't jack off and rub your nipples? I thought everyone did. I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But have you ever had your nipples sucked on?
Oh, you don't suck on your nipples while you jack off?
Have you ever had your nipples sucked
don't
on when
like
you jacked
it.
off?
No.
Or not when you jacked off. During sex.
You just
During
keep her,
sex.
you're just like, fuck, stop, Miguel, stop.
No, during sex. Have you ever had your nipples
Yes,
sucked?
I have.
And you didn't like it?
I didn't like it. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
You liked it?
Felt good. Yeah. Hopefully my family doesn't see that.
Yeah. Anyway, aside from this, dude. Oh my god, why would you put that out there? Yeah, fuck it. What's it called?
I mean, hey, sex is sex.
Something I wanted to ask you is because we both come from the same place where we don't really do a lot of stand up right now, right?
Yeah.
How you did stand up this last week, right?
Yeah, like 2-3 days ago.
And before that, how long had it been?
Like couple months.
Dude, I did it June 9th and then I did it yesterday,
Mhm.
right? So that's 2 months and a couple weeks,
Yeah.
you know? And I did it last night and Daniel went up before me and kind of bombed, but I was feeling anxious before that. Because when I take a break off of stand up, I get so fucking anxious, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
And then they weren't giving Daniel anything. They were just all talking. So I was thinking to myself, oh, the anxiety's lifted. I'm probably going to fucking bomb, right? So I went on stage and I did really well. You know, they were all listening and I was just screaming at everyone, you know?
Yeah, you have a commanding presence.
Right? It's fucking awesome, dude. Yeah. For stand-up, it's awesome, you know? And then also, though, there's like, it's a double-edged sword because I have a commanding presence, but then the shit that I say is not funny. You feel the fucking silence. You know what I mean? Anyways, stay quiet, Miguel. Just kidding. Get it? Stay. What's the opposite of commanding in terms of stand-up?
Because it's whatever I am, right?
Yeah. Somber. Is that a bad word?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
It's negative. It's very negative. Somber.
Really? I feel like I'm learning Spanish right now, dude.
Somber is like depressing.
Oh, yeah. Well, there we go.
No, it's. I guess I would be considered. I don't know. You just have to lean in. Like you just have to pay attention.
Gentle.
It's like
Commanding, gentle.
more subtle.
Subtle. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, somber.
Somber. I'm just making everybody uncomfortable and sad. Come on, dog.
Nah,
you know that's not what it is.
That's not what I meant.
Yeah, but now everybody's gonna run with that.
So, anyways, what I wanted to ask you was, do you think about stand-up all the time after you do it?
Yeah, after I do it, I'm always like, I want to do this more again.
Like, is it a constant? Like, even during this episode, I'm thinking about bits I did, and I'm like, fuck, I should make that into a funnier bit. I should make that into a funnier bit. It's so hard for me to focus on anything outside of stand-up.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. It's interesting because after I don't do it for a while and I do it again, I want to rewrite my old bits a little bit. Like, I won't keep the core of it, but it makes me want to change stuff that I probably don't need to change. And like, I probably should just like find new stuff to work on.
So 100%. So like last night I did my Michael Jackson joke because on stream, when we were streaming together, somebody asked me to do the Michael Jackson joke and I forgot it completely. So I tried to do it last night and that was the worst part of my set, right? But that was the only joke I did that was old jokes of mine. I also did I'm sober and uncircumcised, I feel everything. I did that joke. But that was part of a bigger bit, you know, that I can't say on a podcast.
Your nipples were involved.
Yeah. I always started masturbating my tiny micro dicks, nipples.
In your apartment.
Yeah. I brought my apartment, yeah. Imagine they're like, and coming up on stage is Gerardo. And I'm like, all right, my apartment's outside. How do I bring it in here? I'm a lot fun. Dude, it'd be worth it. I'm a lot funnier in there, dude.
Oh, every time you go up, like, you know how they do those HBO sets?
Yeah.
You think that you have to bring your own set, your big Gerardo letters in the background.
That would be hilarious if you had like 7 homies. MIGUEL. 6. If you had 6 homies walking around with big ass letters, and then they just run behind you at any open mic and put Miguel behind you.
That would be.
That's a good bit, dude.
That's a hilarious bit.
Whoa.
Which we should actually try and do.
We should do that.
Yeah, we should. 1,000%. I agree. We should do that.
Oh my God. Because we could repeat letters too. Like if it's me, you, Daniel, and that's it. Me, you, and Daniel, and
Jelvin?
Melvin. I was like, why am I missing the 4th person? If it's all 4 of us, we all have E's in our names. You know what I mean? That E's gonna be dirty. But having the 7 homies just like walk my name out and then 6 homies for yours. You know what I mean? Dude, we're onto something right now, dude.
Yeah, it's a good bit. Like, especially us taking it so seriously.
Yeah.
I think,
bro. And then we do 3 minutes. Oh my God.
I remember one of my favorite bits I ever did at an open mic when it was like completely empty.
Yeah.
Was I acted like I was performing for an arena.
Yeah.
And then I was just doing Chris Rock, really. I was walking back and forth. And then I was just being very verbose, the most verbose I'd ever been on stage. And I was just like practicing for my arena set.
Yeah.
And I would say a joke. And then whatever laughs it got, I would just act like it was uproarious laughter. And I just go, like, I just bob my head, like, yeah, I'm killing. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
I'm killing. That's what I'd say. If you started coughing like that.
Jesus Christ. He's got COVID. Bigger laugh. So you paused for laughs that weren't there?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's
And then
hilarious.
I paced and I did a whole Chris Rock thing.
Me and you are wildly different in empty rooms.
Well, what do you do in it?
Okay, so no, I'm thinking pre-sobriety. It's a set that will always live with me. And Kyle Gridley was there, one of the two people that were there. It was Ken Gar and Kyle Gridley. Ken Gar was running the mic, and I was the last comic at the Ice House. And so I got on stage, and I was so sad, dude, and stoned out of my mind and kind of drunk. Mm-hmm. And I had the mic, and I was like, I like sand. Sand feels good when I put it in my hands and I rub it, and it's like really good, you know? And then I got off stage, and I did a whole set just like that. I could do 5 minutes right now, but that's what I did. 5 minutes of just bullshit.
Yeah.
And then Kyle was like, what the fuck was that, man? You know, you got to do your jokes, dude. You know?
You just wanted to go.
I was like, fucking, why am I last, right? Now, when I got sober and I did a spot at the Pasadena Comedy, I just talked about me being drunk and stoned and high all the time, you know? At fucking, in front of two people. And like, if they're laughing or not, I was just expressing myself, you know?
Yeah.
Which is what I did last night, but for a crowd of like 40 people. And it felt really good.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like one thing you don't get to see a lot, like once comics get big, is I feel like there's a lot more artfulness in it when it's like a smaller stage.
Yeah.
Like you feel the art of it more. And you know, they call it a performance, but like doing stand up after a while, like I see how everything is like crafted. So it feels less like art, not because it's not art, the act of doing stand up, but just because I know that it's the same thing over and over and over everywhere you go.
Yeah.
But like those moments where you could just like say stuff and like not even necessarily be like this and that, here's a punchline. I don't know. That's the artfulness that I feel like people don't get to see about stand up.
Yeah. I think that
they always see the super polished is what I'm trying to say.
100%. Well, the super polished also has been grossly misinterpreted into fucking politics and shit, where you choose what you polish, and for some reason there's like a fucked up reward system of not polishing art, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like people are being rewarded by doing all these fucking crazy jokes about liberalism. Because the major cities of stand-up are liberal cities.
Yeah.
And when I go to Temecula, I say the most outlandish shit. And it's hilarious. I know it's funny, dude. I fucking know it's funny.
Yeah.
Which is why I want to say it. And it's only like upon certain ears that you can say it freely.
Yeah.
Bro, I said the craziest shit. I know the person that runs the spot is very liberal. And the person that owns the spot is very liberal. They didn't hold it against me at all. And they said thank you afterwards, you know? And I was like very appreciative of that yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I said some crazy shit, dude, yesterday.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, when people understand that it's jokes and like nobody's trying to hurt anybody, that's the best. But dude. Also, I do understand why, and I'm not trying to be smart, but I just think it makes sense where like if you say things out into the open, and you know people just get influenced by things that are being said. I mean, it's kind of out in the culture, and then it's kind of normalized, and then it's kind of like, is this a thing to joke about? Which it can be, or do people take it as like, oh yeah, this is a real thought. Like we joke about it, but also this bad thing is correct. You know? Yeah. So I understand the dichotomy of it, I guess.
But also, there's a silliness to things that are just accepted and that we're forced to accept. There is such silliness to ideas that people share when it comes to helping others. Like, I don't want to help others, and I don't mind being honest about that. I need to help myself, dude, as much as I can. I'm the only one looking out for myself. And everyone wants to go around acting as if we care about other people when it doesn't feel as if anyone gives a fuck about me, you know? Okay. So
Gerardo only has fealty for Gerardo.
Exactly. So, and also too, that also comes from the point of me having an awakening with stand-up where I fucking tell myself all the time that it's just you. Nobody else is going to give you the attention you deserve. Yeah. Nothing will ever equate satisfaction as far as attention goes. That's why I do stand-up. That's why I podcast all the time. Like, I am doing this to feel normal, to get some semblance of normalcy, you know? So to be a stand-up comedian and also want to make everyone happy is like the stupidest shit of all time, you know? It's like being an aspiring activist. It's like, I'm aspiring to be an activist. It's like, no, fool. How about you fucking have something to act on,
activate.
Like, you know, you don't have anything to act on. You would like to be an activist, but activists don't have that fucking luxury of choosing to be this or not, you know?
Okay, I see what you're saying. But also, the way I do bits, I try and make it so that anybody will laugh.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
but like, I watch Chris Rock, and like his shit is funny. And I'm not, dude, I tell people this all the time. I am not good at stand-up comedy as far as what I consider to be good. And I tell myself all the time, like, imagine if I was fucking good, dude. You know? Yeah, I'm getting laughs or whatever, but imagine if I was actually good, if I was making points and also making people laugh, you know? And because my turn on in stand-up comedy is changing people's minds with jokes, you know?
Okay, interesting. Because I don't think that necessarily makes you good at stand-up.
I think that, but that's my definition though.
I see.
Like in order to get both things done where people question how they feel, maybe they always go back to how they always felt, but for them to question who they are, that's the best stand up to me, dude.
I see.
Like questioning what the fuck, am I like that, dude?
I guess how I feel about stand up is kind of similar because my thing is just realization, not even necessarily questioning your own thought, but just like realizing like just an idea or like flipping something on its head so that you see it differently.
Yeah.
But not necessarily that they question anything, you know? Because, I mean, I have a joke about, what's an example of something I have a joke about?
Yeah, your fucking child labor joke.
Oh, yeah, my child labor joke.
That is exactly what I'm talking about, dude. That's a great joke because you're commenting on something that has just become normalized and it's just accepted. But
I'm just flipping.
You're giving it like a 1950s view of like, oh, everything's fine. And it's like, you know, you respect kids' work. So you put pants on the refrigerator and like,
yeah, paraphrasing.
You know, oh yeah, I'm trying. I don't want to tell your whole fucking bit.
Yeah.
But like that. And then also like you making it real as fuck by saying like, imagine if a kid got assassinated for their political views, you know?
Yeah.
Like that it becomes a real thing, you know?
Yep. Yeah. And for me, it's not like, I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. I'm just like making something positive out of something that's obviously negative. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I have my other bit where I talk about how armed robbery isn't that bad.
Yeah.
That's actually good.
Yeah.
So but like those kind of things.
In my opinion, though, that's a comment on a society in a way.
I guess.
Where it's like, we all know how terrible Los Angeles is, dude. Especially with robberies and whatnot. Dude, did you see the LA Street takeover?
No, when was that?
I want to say 2 weeks ago.
I was supposed to be there.
I forget which city. I know it was in Los Angeles, greater Los Angeles area, but they took over a fucking 7-Eleven, dude.
Good thing it wasn't at the greatest Los Angeles area. Anyway, sorry. What do you mean they took over?
So LA Street takeover is some sort of movement, right? But this fucking crowd, a mob of people went into a 7-Eleven and they like, there's a video online of them just like, dude, disrespecting the 7-Eleven. And then they jump, they go from like the chips, like a bunch of girls running out with chips and shit. And then they get the drinks, all the drinks, right? And then they go behind the counter and they start getting the fucking blunt wraps.
Oh, I would go for all the lottery tickets.
Oh,
all not lottery. Yeah. All the lottery scratch offs.
Yeah.
I would take everything. My dad would be so mad if I looted because my dad was a cop.
Yeah.
So, dude, when I went to New York, my dad called me a criminal because I told him about how like
I ran the turnstile.
I jumped the turnstiles or opened the emergency exit, and he was so serious. Yeah. And it was the funniest thing because it's like the smallest thing that in New York everybody does it, and like old people are opening like the emergency gate for young people. Yeah. It's like everybody's like fuck the government. Like just
dude, I saw this funny video online of a guy talking about how to live in New York cheaply, right? Yeah. Oh, I think this was Frankie Oy. You know Frankie Oy, the comedian? He lives in New York now. And I don't know why, but it seemed like he had a beef with like things getting taken down on social media of his at the same time. So the video was so great because he's like, I'm not going to show you that because Instagram doesn't like that, right? And then he's at the subway. He's like, no, riding the subway, right? and it's on one side of the subway, and then it jump cuts to the other side of the subway, and he's like, "I'm not gonna tell you how I just did that, but it was free, and Instagram wouldn't like it, because he jumped the turnstile." But like that is funny to me.
That is funny.
Yeah,
But would they really take it down if you did that?
I don't know, but he kept saying that over and over because I think he had a video taken down recently before that.
Oh, but that is kind of funny how he's like, "Let me show you how to do this."
Yeah, but
and
I can't do it.
Yeah,
because Instagram.
It just shows him having whatever
Yeah.
he's talking about and being like, "Yeah, I stole it, but I can't show you.
I can't show you that I stole it.
I can't show you the trick of me robbing somebody." It's a nice trick.
But that's how you live free in New York.
Yeah.
And somebody's dead behind him. He's like, that's how you.
That's how you find a new apartment. You have his apartment keys.
Yeah.
He's still in that van, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't talk to him or anything, but I follow him on Instagram.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, dude. Anyways, that's been an hour, dude.
Has it? All right.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Stay tuned next week for stand up part 2, dude. I'm probably gonna try to do stand up again soon.
Yeah, I might do it tonight. Probably.
Dude, somebody asked me to do a show yesterday at noon, but like clean. And I was like, no, I can't.
That's not possible. You have clean material,
Bro, I haven't done stand up in fucking 35 years.
We did it yesterday.
No, I know, but at night. And also I cussed so much last night. But it was before that at noon, fucking clean, dude.
Clucking clean.
And then like before I said like I'll try to go there or whatever, I was in the restroom if you need to know. And I was thinking to myself like, what's a joke that I could do clean? Like the only one I have is instead of saying threesomes, I say homework. Like what I quit for Lent. But we're nowhere near Lent, baby. And then also too, if I were to bomb, guess what happens, dude? Fuck everyone here, dude. Can't say
You
that.
lose fealty.
Yeah. I'll be like, forget everyone here. You guys are all losers and skanks. I can't say skanks.
Yeah, you can't.
No.
Skunks.
They're like losers. Hey, chill out, dude. This is a clean mic.
The security guard is Buzz Lightyear.
Have you seen that movie?
No.
Oh.
Is it good?
Tune in next week for a review of Lightyear, dude.
Yeah.
From Miguel Gonzalez.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if your name was Miguel Lightyear. Dude, imagine being born Gerardo Lightyear. It's like, what? Name me Bob. Don't make it Gerardo, dude.
I think we're done.
Okay, sorry. Later. Have a good night. God bless.
God bless.